Hey y'all, this is Vivian Wood, aka Sister Sophia with Blue Feather, Gray Feather, here to talk to you today about the moon shadow transit. What? Moon shadow transit? You mean the eclipse? What are you talking about? Okay, so we just had a total lunar eclipse, which I didn't see, and I am super sad. That's the third one in 3 years that was supposed to be visible here on the East Coast, and it's been rainy and cloudy ever since, all three times. And I keep thinking, why do they keep pulling the blanket over for me? Will I know too much? That's the narrative, anyways. So moon shadow transit after the total lunar eclipse. So let me begin saying that the moon shadow transit is not our moon. No, it is the moon of Jupiter. And who, might you ask, is Jupiter? Well, Jupiter is several people. In the beginning, he was known as Archangel Zadkiel. In fact, a lot of people say he is still Archangel Zadkiel. He's also Zeus. And he was dun, 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 Enoch. That's right. Jupiter, the teeny seed stardust fracture of a human that was Enoch, who was amazing and brilliant, was Jupiter. Now, when he ascended, if you remember in the Bible, there's only two people that ascended in the Bible, like still alive. Now, of course, Jesus ascended after death, and Mary also ascended, or it's assumed, it's called the Assumption of Mary, that her body also ascended. Okay? So we have four bodies, but two still living, and that is Enoch and Elijah. So when Enoch ascended, he also became Metatron. And Metatron, in a lot of sacred geometry, is the seed of life, right? The structure of that geometry is the seed of life. Metatron is also known as the voice of God. And in my revelation, research, contemplation, and discernment, he's also the wrath of God, right? The red eye, the red spot storm that is constant on Jupiter, which apparently, according to scientists, is starting to decrease. That is a good sign for us. Okay? Because this storm is the size of our planet. Okay? That's how big Jupiter is. It's the biggest, and the next biggest is Saturn. Now, Jupiter also has something like 95 moons. Saturn has 146, though I say 147 because apparently our moon is a rogue moon from Saturn, and I think that's a fun thing. Okay, moon shadow transit on the 5th. This was actually Io, Ganymede, and Jupiter. Okay, so Ganymede is not only the biggest moon, or the largest moon, I should say, on Jupiter, it's also the largest satellite. Like, it's so big that if it was rotating around the sun instead of Jupiter, it would absolutely be a planet. Like, it's something like larger than Mercury, and it's about 2/3 or 3/4 the size of Mars. So it's icy, it's rocky. Okay, Io. Now, people in science, astronomy, And anyone who knows about the planet, the moon Io, is that it is literally hell in space. Seriously. If you think hell is a hot, fiery pit, or if you even believe in hell, Io's your guy, right? Like, it's constant lava. I mean, these plumes are so giant that you can actually observe them from one of the satellites or telescopes from space. Like, you can be looking at the moon and it's this giant volcanic plume that happens. It's crazy. That being said, if we are light bodies, that sounds more like a spa to me, right? Let's say you get sent to hell, which is Io, and there's all this lava. Well, if you're a light body, I mean, obviously it hurts flesh, it hurts humans, but as a light body, it's cleansing. Think of it more like a mud mask, right? The spa treatment at Io with a freaking fantastic view of Jupiter, I might add. So look at this. It's really, really fascinating. So let's think of hell less of like this fiery pit where you're going to be tormented for all of eternity, and think of it more as a spa. Yeah, you're just getting rid of density, any muck you weren't ready to get rid of, or just didn't get an opportunity to. And you're getting rid of that before you move on to heaven. That's where we're going with this. So anyways, this transition that's happening, I dropped my cards, hold on. Okay, in a lot of biblical understandings, Jesus as Christ is a lamb, right? That was sacrificed. There is another lamb that comes back at the end of days and is bloody, is wounded. Now, this is more of Archangel Michael, okay? The full expression of Christ consciousness. Jesus, as Archangel Gabriel, is the messenger, is the announcer of Christ coming, okay? Yes, he was Christ incarnate, okay? Like, I'm not gonna say he wasn't. What we don't typically talk about is that Archangel Gabriel is actually the archangel of the moon, and Archangel Michael is the archangel of the sun, all right? And when I say sun, we're doing a double entendre here. I mean sun, S-O-N, and Son, S-U-N, of the mother of creation, of, I'm going to say the Father God, because it is masculine, but God's not a man. We'll talk about that another time. Anyway, Rudolf Steiner, actually talks about in his book, The Archangel Michael, about the age of Gabriel into Michael. You can see there, apparently there was this event that happened in 1879. That's when we structurally moved from the age of Gabriel into the age of Michael. At this time during the age of Aquarius, right? We actually went into the age of Aquarius last summer in 2025, okay? The moon was in the 7th house and Jupiter aligned with Mars. Okay, like it was actually, like that actually happened, which is so fun and exciting, I do have to say. Okay, so here we are. Moon in shadow transit. Io, okay? Look at this. So this is March 5th at 6:35 a.m. Io is in Gemini, which means Jupiter and Ganymede are also in Gemini. What is Gemini? Well, if you don't look at the Greek mythology and you look at more of the Christian understanding of Gemini,